Hello everyone, and welcome to today's practice, April 21st, day 34 of our online Facebook COVID yoga practice. As I open the practice today, come into your breath, come into a regular seated position, and I am going to read to you from the Kundalini Tantra, written by Swami Satyananda Saraswati, as we are focusing on Sahasrara Chakra today. So as you come into your body, keep your props, your strap, your blocks, your blanket, whatever you may need nearby. Come into your breath, feel those three different parts of the breath. Feel the wave moving through the body. We're focusing on Sahasrara Chakra, which is the crown, but actually it is misconceived that it is actually a chakra. As I read the first passage from the text, follow your breath and allow your breath to take you a little bit deeper into your practice. Sahasrara is not a chakra as often thought. Chakras are within the realm of the psyche. Consciousness manifests at different levels according to the chakra that is predominantly active. Sahasrara acts through nothing, and yet again, it acts through everything. It is beyond the beyond, and yet it is right here. Sahasrara is the culmination of the progressive ascension through the different chakras. It is the crown of expanded awareness. The power of the chakras does not reside in the chakras themselves, but in Sahasrara, which brings it together. The chakras are only the switches, but is the potential that lies in the Sahasrara. The literal definition of the word means 1,000 and is often represented by a lotus of 1,000 petals. You should by now be into the third part of your breath, breathing very deeply into the diaphragm, expanding all periphery as your first stage. Once you have filled all the pockets within that depth, move to the midriff, the barrel sensation, expanding your lungs, filling the balloon in your belly as well as your ribs, continuing just to feel that inflation. With every inhale, lifting the spine, keeping the neck long, chin relaxed, head is light. Relax the shoulders, shoulder blades dripping down the spine, lengthening the neck. Once you've found the wave into the barrel in your ribs, focus on feeling the chest, thoracic, clavicular regions, the face, and indeed the Sahasrara Chakra area. Continuing to breathe very deeply. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, we'll start coming into the body. The definition of yog means yogi, means union. So we're going to now come together, body and breath. When you're ready, inhaling, arms up, shoulders down, eyes of the elbows open, tips of the fingers reaching, stretching. And once you come to the top, tips of the fingers touching, changing the direction of the palms. You're always leading with the palms going down. Shoulders are always down, further sinking down the spine, touching the tips of the fingers to the mat, and inhaling up. Every movement becoming slightly slower than your last. Breathing down. And last one, slower yet again, inhaling up and exhaling down. Now, if at any point you need to adjust your seated position or use the wall, use support, I am going to change from a comfortably seated cross-legged position into Virasana. You're welcome to stay where you are, or you're welcome to come into Vajrasana. Vaj is when we're sitting on the heels. Virasana is when we are aiming for the pelvic floor to be flat and we are sitting beside the heels. And take just a moment to come into this space in your body. Breathing nice and deeply here. And when you're ready, inhaling arms up, just halfway. And then left fingers down to the right temple, right hand coming down, chin into the chest, nodding yes, slowly. Your breath guides your movements, inhaling up, exhaling down. You don't move without your breath, both literally and metaphorically. On your next exhalation, release your head, your hands from your head, and turning the head towards the armpit. Both hands can be relaxed, palms facing up or down, but let the shoulders be completely relaxed. And when you're ready, quarter circles leading from the chin down and then up, just like you're digging away at it, coming down and then up. Wiggling through any kinks you might detect. And on your next inhale, rolling all the way up, back to center, and inhaling arms up, back to halfway. Same thing on the opposite side. So right fingertips to the temple, left fingertips to the floor, nodding yes, spreading that positive mantra through your body. Feeling the lengthening of the muscles down the neck, down the spine, down the front of the chest, down the shoulder, and upwards into the face, the jaw. Feeling the length. And when you are ready, when your chin is down, let's release the hand down. And then looking towards your armpits. Really dropping the shoulders, feeling the length. Reminding yourself the balloon in your belly, making your physical body softer and lighter with every breath. And when you're ready, bring it down, quarter circles, and feel the extension. And if you need to take it a little bit beyond that, 90 degrees, then by all means, of course, you can adjust the angle so that it's comfortable for you. Everyone has different sensitivities in the neck, of course. And once the head is down, let's inhale, head up, arms up together, bending and bringing the fingers together, elbows together, chin down. Inhaling up and release. Now we're going to come over first onto the left side. So just allowing our hips to lift and fold over. Padadhanajasana. And we can have the front of our foot on the back of the ankle. We can even open up a little bit so the foot might be a little bit higher up the thigh. Wherever you feel comfortable, we're going to come into a twist. So inhaling arms up, shoulders down. Exhaling both arms away from the feet. One hand, and again, palms are stretching out, fingers lengthening. One hand to the knee. Opposite hand can either come to the hip or perch itself behind you. And just twist. Breathing deeply here. And you try to keep your hips just inching forward, your top hip inching forward, your lower hip inching back, and just feel the potential to twist deeper. There's a lot of space in this pose. And when you're ready, let's exhale, release, and folding to the opposite side. Keep your right hand on the knee and just let the body lower down, putting a little bit of pressure into the bent knees, bent legs, and just letting the body completely flail. Whatever movement, whatever bounce, whatever breath, motions through the corporal, just follow. And on your next inhale, lift, lengthen, drop the hand down, palm flat, fingers directly pointing away from you, and inhaling up onto one knee, lengthening the opposite leg, and push the hips forward, draw the shoulders back, getting a nice back bend. Your toes are pointed on both feet, but you're really getting a grip as you hook your big toe in. Lean back as far as you comfortably feel. And when you're ready, exhale, coming back down, bringing in the leg, bringing in the arm. And there we are again in Vajrasana. What we do to one side, we always do to the opposite side. So when you're ready, dropping to the opposite side, taking a moment to adjust. In my case, I'm on my right side, so my right leg and the front of the right foot can be behind the left ankle, or I can open the right leg a little bit more to bring the foot up into the crux of the thigh and the calf. Wherever you feel. Again, we're coming into a twist, and if you do need some support, if you feel that you're very uncomfortable or wobbly here, bring some padding under the bottom and under the outside. You might want to lift yourself a little bit to give balance in the hips. When you're ready, inhaling, arms up, shoulders down, eyes to the elbows open, tips of the fingers touching. And exhale to the opposite side. Spread your fingers. And again, your back hand can be either hovering in the air, dropped down to the ground, or can be used as a pillar to deepen the twist. And really start to open the legs. Don't hang on here. Really push the hand against the knee. But let the lower body also twist out to the back. Feel the lengthening in your front hip flexor and into some of your intestinal and internal organs. Very deep core stretching here. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, coming back to center and keeping the left hand on your knee, let the right arm reach over and just hang. You can feel there's a bounciness. You can even do a little bit of bouncing or movement just to feel where that potential for length and elasticity lie. Breathing into the side belly, the side ribs, through the armpit, even breathing up the side arm and to the outside of the pinky finger. Imagine your breath could extend all that way to fill all those little pockets and itches and cracks and creaks and whatever else is happening in your body just gets filled with pure, rejuvenating, highly oxygenated blood. And when you're ready, inhaling sunrise, those arms all the way up, plant the palm, fingers away from you. Inhaling up onto the knee, opposite leg extended, and back bending. So we're pushing the hips forward, drawing the shoulders back. You can either keep the chin tucked in or extending it a little bit as well. And breathing very deeply. And when you're ready, exhale, coming back down. And find yourself again in Vajrasana. Take a moment to give a bit of a twist to the spine, rolling the shoulders, whatever you might feel. If there's any stiffness, any kinks, anything at all in your body, just move through it and let it out. Okay, shaking. Okay, I'm going to come into a rabbit position. So, Sasangasana. We're sitting in a child's position. We've done this before. We just haven't labeled it as such. And exhale, folding forward. Keep the chin into the chest, but with a nice straight back. The back of the neck is lengthening. The hands come on the heels. So the thumbs are on the outside of the ankle and the fingers are on the bottom of the heel, keeping the chin tucked into the chest. We're going to round up so that we're pressing the top of the head, the location of the Sahasrara, into the ground. We do not want to put weight on the head. We want to just sense that pressure. So the weight is in the body and it is holding, of course, from the arms. So you can watch me first, or if you're familiar and comfortable, please begin. Again, keeping the chin into the chest and exhaling, holding on to the heels. When you're ready, inhaling, lift. Feel the stretch in the shoulders. And if you're not quite getting the pressure in the lower head, lift yourself a little bit, curl yourself in, and try again. And if you do as well need support, blocks, props, whatever you may find to just elevate and compensate for any space or gaps that you may have. We're going to hold this for 5 breaths. If at any time you feel lightheaded, dizzy, or nauseous, do stop and come into a regular position with your Ajna Chakra on the mat. Otherwise, continue to breathe very deeply, inhaling into the back of your lungs. Feeling the blood shifting through the body, very efficient position for contraction of your vessels, arteries, veins, all of your circulatory system. And when you're ready, exhale, come down, rolling onto the forehead. Feel the shift in your body. And hold here for 1 breath. On your next inhale, we're going to lift and come into a little bit of movement to get some of that energy going. And then we're going to do a headstand preparation practice. So this is not, as I ought to repeat, is not a beginner's class. This class does demand a little bit of experience and knowledge. If you would like to continue, of course, please do. And you don't feel that you are so professional, it's okay. But we will be going into a headstand preparation, at least. Okay? So when you're ready, we are going to come into a lifted position on our way through some flow. So inhaling, release the hands, coming up and lifting, reaching back into a slight back bend, keeping the chin drawn forward. It doesn't have to be tucked into the chest, but drawn forward. Feel the pressure in the lower back. Feel the blood returning down the thighs. And from here, if you're comfortable, stay here for a moment. If you'd like to come into a deeper camel, we're going to bring our hands to the backs of the back. And if you'd like to just start with half, 1 at a time, that's fine. Otherwise, Slowly shifting your hips forward, keeping the chin now tucked into the chest, and slowly begin to walk the hands down. Once they're down the legs, you can bring the thumbs again to the outside of the heel, fingers to the inside, keeping the chin at the chest, and push the chest forward. And you can have a little bit of motion here, just rocking. Feel the opening in the arms, feel the pressure in the lower back. And when you're ready, either walking the hands back or inhaling, coming up again, and exhaling down, coming into a puppy. So keeping the arms reaching forward. Once the fingertips touch the ground, keep them walking forward until the chin comes down. Once the chin comes down, this is our puppy pose. So our derriere is lifted. Try to find 90 degrees. We're going to hold this just for 5 deep breaths, really deep arches in the lumbar spine as well as the clavicular upper spine. Keeping the shoulders down, that's 5. 4. 3. Keeping the hands active and strong. We're still in a balance. 2. Paying attention to the sensations in your legs and your feet. 1. Pressing into the hands, keeping the shoulders down, away from the ears. And when you're ready, we're going to come up with a nice rounded back. So chin tucked into the chest, lifting first from the lower back, upper backs, keeping the hands strong, and down onto the floor in a nice cobra. And let the head hang back, and we're going to reverse that exactly. So exhale, chin into the chest as your first movement, pushing into the hands as your second. Keep your hips tucked until the very last moment where you lift. And back to our puppy position, looking forward. Breathing here for 1 deep breath. We'll do the same one more time. When you're ready, inhaling, nice round back up. And let the hips fall down. Keep the shoulders down. Lengthen the neck. If you'd like to bend the knees, you're welcome as well to bring in the knees. Giving a bit of a deeper stretch. Again, your hands are holding the weight. The knees are separated inevitably, slightly. And let's reverse that again. So releasing the feet, chin into the chest, push into the hands, start to round up. And find that puppy pose one more time. Holding for a few breaths. And when you're ready, last time, inhaling up. Really wanting to move through the spine. Finding which variation works best for you. And exhaling down. This time we'll stop halfway in our tabletop position. Bring the hands back. We'll stay here just for a moment. Wiggle the hips to the left, to the right. Any tension you might have accumulated in your hips. And when you're ready, we're going to come into just a short child. So bring the feet together, starting in a Vajrasana position. So Vajra, we're sitting on the feet and just walking the hands down, coming into Balasana. Child's position, let the arms come down beside you. We'll only stay here for 5 deep breaths, not too much time. Releasing any tension across the forehead, the jaw, front of the chest, throat. And when you're ready, let's slowly start to come back. Use the arms, keep the chin tucked into the chest, and very slowly coming up. Now we're going to come into a headstand practice or prep. If you have been practicing the king of asana, Sarvangasana, then you are, of course, welcome to come into a headstand where we are putting pressure on our chakra, on our Sahasrara chakra through Sarvangasana asana. You can use a wall if you're comfortable, but otherwise we're just going to come into a bit of preparation practice today. So, of course, adjust your clothing as necessary, and how we're going to come into this is through a bit of a sort of a dolphin position. Okay. So coming down again through table, and now come down onto our forearms. Okay, if we come down onto our forearms, again, the palms should be spread, fingers spread, palms flat. And we may want to lengthen slightly as well as we were in the puppy, coming forward just a little bit. And we're now going to just start to feel that stretch in the backs of the arms. In fact, let's do a little pose here. So open the elbows out to the side and bring your head down. Bring your arms to the back of the head, into interlaced fingers, and as we exhale, let's come back down into a seated position, but keep your biceps opening, keep your elbows pressing into the ground, and you can bring your hands into a prayer position, keeping the shoulders down, and remember breathing into the back of the lungs. On your next exhale, release the hands, coming forward, lift the head, the hands are in prayer. Now let's bring them just together. So that's our measurement. So coming from that prayer position, and then bring the hands together, forearms should be their own distance, and just make that measurement. Make sure that those two spaces, or those two movements create the triangle that you will need. Now, to create the base of our position, basically we are just using our arms. We don't use our head and neck as much as we think we do in a headstand. Now, your hands, some people like them in different ways. I would recommend putting them, interlacing your fingers, whichever way that you are not going to cause any pain to the bones. But when you rest your head down, just as we did in the rabbit position, we want to be kind of coming up forward so that the top of our head is slightly forward. So our hands are actually resting just slightly behind. I'll demonstrate and talk you through it as well. So find that distance. Interlace the fingers, open the hands, and then when your head comes down, find the Sahasrara, which is, right pretty much at the top of the head, and then just go a little bit further back. Go a little bit further back, and that is the space that you are going to hang. So just try to find that space for a moment and breathe very deeply. So you should be in a bit of a tripod sensation. Well, not with your knees, but with that just 3 different prongs. And so once you've got your head, back of the head is rested into the palms so that the front of the head is putting the pressure, and you've got the pressure all along the top of the scalp. Now remember, you could lift your head easily at any time because the weight is on the forearms and the strength is in your hands and your wrists. Okay, so just gently place your head, and again, if you are menstruating or have neck issues, do not go any further than this. This is exactly what we are going to do today, right here. Okay, and work on keeping the shoulders down. And again, we've done this position in a variety of ways. Keep the chin tucked into your chest and just focus on that upper region of the spine and lengthen. Otherwise, if you are feeling that you would like the challenge of coming up, and we're not going to come up totally today, just as a preparation. When you're ready, inhale, curling the toes under, lifting up, and this is where you'll feel, again, the arms need to take the weight. You should be able to completely lift your head, and once your head is down, the weight is still on the arms. Shoulders are down, always moving down. Biceps are lengthening, and it's the forearms that are taking the weight and the pressure. Continue to breathe here. Feel the back body lengthening. And when you're ready, let's slowly just start to walk up, just as far as you comfortably can come, and stop. And breathe for 5. And when you're ready, slowly walk back, just left foot, step back, come onto the right knee, flattening the top of the right foot. And let's just come into a modified pigeon. So keeping the heel under the thigh, you can drop the straight leg down. And the arms can lengthen if you'd like to come into a deeper stretch. And let's hold here. For about 10 deep breaths. Your hands can be pushing into the ground, or they can be in a prayer position, wherever they find themselves. Shoulders down, away from the ears. Lengthening your spine, filling the abdomen, and breathe. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, looking upwards, lifting the back foot, pushing the toes forward, and coming back into our semi-preparation position. And we'll do the same on the opposite side. So Interlace the fingers, dropping the head, finding a place where you're comfortable, where you are just using the weight of the upper body, the biceps, pressing the shoulders down away from the ears. And when you're ready, again, let's curl under, keeping the weight on the biceps, shoulders down. Find your place here. Otherwise, start to move in. Trying to step a little bit closer than before. And let's hold for 5. And when you're ready, let's step back this time. Right foot all the way back, uncurling the toes, and lengthening the whole body. You can lengthen the arms. And let's hold this again for about 10 deep breaths. Feel the lengthening of the spine, feel the opening of the ribs, feel the prana moving through the body. And breathe. And when you are ready, on your next inhale, lifting the back leg, curling the toes, coming up, and again back to a Vajrasana position. So sitting on the heels, knees together, and just take a moment to feel the effects of the practice on the body. And relax, feeling the balloon in your belly, the expansion in your rib cage. We'll take a moment here to do Nadi Shodhani Pranayama, alternative nostril breathing. So again, finding a position where you are comfortable. It's always best to want to lock when we are doing breathing pranayama. Lock the lower body. But of course, whatever is comfortable for you. That's to improve circulation in the lower limbs as well as to maintain highly oxygenated blood during the breathing practice in the core. And training all of the organs to receive quality. And then they will demand quality and they will crave quality oxygenated blood, not garbage. When you are ready, if you're familiar, please begin. Otherwise, alternative nostril breathing. Take your right hand, fold down the second and third finger. Right thumb is going to come into the right nostril. We're going to exhale completely left. Inhale left, close left, open right. Exhale right. Inhale right, close right, open left, exhale left, and follow that same V-type sequence. Now today, because we are focusing on Sahasrara Chakra, this is our last day of the meditation of this brand with Kundalini Tantra by Swami Satyananda Saraswati. I would like us to practice Kumbhak, so a breath retention. Okay, so when you're ready, I will speak through the first one. Otherwise, go ahead and begin. Exhaling completely through the left nose, and when you're ready, inhaling. Count your breath. If it's 3 seconds, close and hold for 3. When you're ready, open the opposite and exhale for 6. So lengthen the exhalation to be twice as long as the inhalation, and then hold for 6. Your next inhale might be deeper when you're ready. Inhaling up. Feel the expansion. Hold. How much? 5, 6. And now when you exhale, slowly release your diaphragm, very controlled, doubling the length of the exhalation to be twice as long as your inhalation. And you should deepen your breath like that continuously through the Shadina, through the alternative nostril practice. When you're ready, we'll continue like this for a few minutes. If you feel tired, bring your head down to the ground. If you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or nauseous, do the same when you're ready. Once you have finished the next round, come back to your regular seated position and just feel the effects of the practice on the body. Take a moment to, again, stretch the neck, roll the shoulders. And when you're ready, we're just going to come down onto our bottoms into a modified Navasana, so a boat position. And you feel as you come down, you feel that blood rush into your toes. Find a nice easy balance in Navasana. And then just slightly roll back and forth, side to side. And slowly, a little bit more gradual, a little bit more deep, a little bit more angular, a little bit more circle. And when you're ready, rock and roll. Let your body move, feeling the trust, feeling the playfulness. Check behind you, of course. Make sure there's nothing to squish or smash. And a few times like this. When you're ready, let's just let the legs come down. And wherever they fall, they fall. If you are up in a two-leg raised position, this is also a fine place to be. Otherwise, allow yourself to fall into Halasana, chin into the chest, curling the toes, and try to walk the toes a little bit closer to Sahasrara Chakra, to the top of the head. And inhale, lifting your hands, and hold for 5. Now really focus the weight on the spine. I'm not going to come down quite yet, but our next position will necessitate a block. So if you have one nearby, or when we get out of this position, you can just head over to grab one. We're going to bring the block and put it just at the point where the spine connects. So even if we're down a little bit lower, that's fine. Put the block right here, just like that, and just hang on to it. Okay, so by hanging on to it, you're going to get a little bit of a stretch in the shoulders, and you're really going to feel that deep pressure. Okay, so even at the lowest angle, it's actually, I kind of just want to stay here. It has tremendous benefit, and it's a real deep release because you've got your Svadhisthana chakra pressure as well as the bindu. And of course, all the spine just relaxing on the ground. But if you're feeling a little bit more flexible, you can bring the block into wherever your back connects with it. And then just start to slowly lengthen out and bring the knees, bend them down. And release here. So we'll have a variety of positions. Your legs can be bent or straight. They can be up in the air still. We want to get that pressure in the lower spine as well as the head resting on the ground. And when you're ready, let's inhale, lift, removing the block wherever it may be, and bringing both legs up.